Hello students, in this video I am going to discuss first the polygenic inheritance, then I will cover the topic of pleiotropism, okay, of the chapter Principle of Inheritance, class 12. Okay, so let us not waste time and let's continue with polygenic inheritance, first topic. So what is this all about? Okay, if you look at the term properly, polygenic inheritance, polygene, so the name itself reflects the polygene. Okay, so two, one is poly, one is genic. So polygene, it means more than one gene, multiple genes are there in this concept, okay, which are responsible for inheritance. Okay, we studied that in Mendel's that one gene is responsible for expression of one character. But here we see that many genes, sometimes there are examples where many genes, more than one genes responsible for one particular character or trait to express. Okay, this is called polygenic inheritance, and the character that inherits from generation to generation, okay, controlled by more than one genes. 2 or 3 genes are responsible for that particular character or trait. Okay, one example is, very common example is the skin color, human skin color. Okay, there are 3 genes, 3 different genes which are responsible for the human skin color. Okay, let us assume that these 3 genes are A, B and C. Okay, 3 different genes which are responsible for the expression of the human skin color. Now, if the genes are dominant genes, okay, means the pair of factors, okay, pair of alleles in the genes, if they are dominant, if that's what I said, that the genes are dominant, it means that this is one gene, this gene A having 2 alleles dominant, gene B having 2 alleles dominant, gene C also having 2 alleles dominant. If this is the combination, if the genes are dominant, the skin color, it actually becomes a darkest pigmentation. Okay, darkest color. Okay, now if the genes are of recessive, okay, then what happens is that recessive means it is of small a, okay, alleles are recessive, small b, and then small c. If this is the condition, the genes are recessive in combination, then it is the lightest pigmentation, that is the lightest color of the skin. Okay, these are the 2 conditions where we see that 3 different genes are responsible for different colors, the pigmentation. Now one more condition also, if the genes are of heterozygous allele combination, if the genes are of heterozygous allele combination, like capital A, small a, this is one gene combining 2 different alleles, okay, one dominant, one recessive. Same in case of this gene B, same in case of this one, the C, gene C. In that case, it is an intermediate pigmentation. It comes intermediate pigmentation. Okay, so remember that in different characters we see intermediate expression. There is not only tall height and short height, there is a whole range of heights. So what I meant to say, basically this intermediate expression of the characters, okay, there we see the polygenic inheritance. Okay, also in other characteristics which are, we know that either tall, either short, either darkest color or lightest color, in this case also we see the expression of polygeny, okay, polygenic inheritance. Okay, but in those fixed traits, either extreme one or the extreme traits, okay, we have seen many examples, one gene controls, one type of gene controls. Okay, but in intermediate expression, remember, it is always polygenic expression, that is inherited, polygenic inheritance. Okay, so these are examples. Okay, one more example of polygenic inheritance we can give. Okay, this is one skin pigmentation of human we have done. Another one is an example of, remember this one. Okay, the candle color of wheat. The candle color of wheat also expressed by two pairs of genes. Okay, means two genes I meant to say. Okay, like if I write the red color of the gene, okay, red color of the wheat, that is called, capital RR and BB, capital BB. If I express it, there is an example in the book. I'm just showing that to you. Okay, there is some intermediate color comes with two pairs of genes, that is the capital R and small r and capital B small b. This is the combination of genes. Okay, two pairs of genes which actually expresses the kernel color. Okay, it means how this heterozygous combination is coming, like capital R, capital B, this combination, both the capital dominant alleles. In this case, if it is the red color, and in case of this, if it is the responsible for white color, okay, then in combination it comes like this, and this is responsible for the kernel color, intermediate color. So this is another example of intermediate color that comes. Okay, of different proportion of red and white, if we mix, it gives kernel color. So this is another example of intermediate expression, again polygenic inheritance. Okay, these are the two examples that you can also write in the examinations. You can make a short note on this. So this is all about polygenic inheritance. Okay, now we will see the pleiotropism. This topic is done. Next is pleiotropism. What does that mean? Pleiotropism means, see what we learned in the polygenic inheritance, more than one genes, multiple genes control over a single expression, character or trait. Pleiotropism is just opposite. One particular gene controls over more than one characters. Understood? So let us just understand the two things side by side. In polygenic inheritance, more than one genes, okay, responsible for one particular character to express. Okay. In pleiotropism, what happens is that one particular gene that is controlling over more than one characters. In case of this is the one gene. In case of many genes controlling over one character, your one particular gene controls over many characters. This is what the pleiotropism, and this is polygenic inheritance. Okay. Now if we see some examples, then we will understand it better. The pleiotropism. Okay. One example is there in your book, that is the of phenylketonuria. Phenylketonuria. This is a disease. Okay. We will discuss about this disease when we will be discussing about the Mendelian disorders and chromosomal disease. That topic we will discuss all these things. Just get idea about how this pleiotropism works in this case. There is a gene, there is a mutation takes place in a particular gene. Okay, let us assume gene A. Okay, there is mutation. Mutation means change that takes place in the gene, or you can say change that takes place in the DNA. Okay, so the change in this particular gene, okay, that is basically in case of this problem, this gene is basically responsible for an enzyme secretion that is known as phenylalanine hydroxylase. Okay, and this enzyme actually mainly controls over the functions, different functions. Okay, now due to the mutation of the gene, okay, this enzyme is not producing. This enzyme is not producing. And if this enzyme does not produce, obviously these functions will be not expressed, will be a problem. Abnormalities you will see, right? Normality will not be seen. So, as a result of mutation in the gene, what happens is that this enzyme is not produced. And what exactly happening? First of all, we see there is mental retardation. Okay, abnormalities mentally. Second, what we see, reduce in hair. Okay, hair fall, loss of hair. And also we see here reduction in or reduce in the pigmentation, skin pigmentation. Okay, skin pigmentation. Now see, there is a problem in one particular gene, and as a result of which we see three different expression that comes as a result of this problem. Defect in the one gene leads to mental retardation, reduce in hair, and reduction in the reducing the skin pigmentation. It means that the gene was actually controlled over more than one character. Okay, so this is a good example of phenylalanine. Another example, there are some other examples also I can share with you. Okay, just let me check. Yeah. This is another example I am going to share. I am writing on the board so that it will help you to know more than one examples. Okay. In the pea plant, a single gene, okay, that controls over number one, seed coat color. Second character is red spot in the axil of leaf. Okay. Third character is the flower color. So see, in a pea plant, one particular gene, let's say X, the gene that is responsible for three different characters to express. So this is another example you can write. Okay. One more example I would like to share with you. In sickle cell anemia, there is a gene HBS beta. This is the name of the gene. Okay. There is this gene which actually the problem in this gene, the defect of the mutation in this gene, okay, that leads to different expressions, change in different expressions. What are those changes? Number one, because of the defect in the gene, first problem arises the sickle cell anemia. Reduction in the RBC. RBCs get damaged, okay, due to the change in the shape of the hemoglobin. What are the change? How the changes takes place? We will discuss in our next topic, next video. We will be discussing all the disorders. Okay, I am not going to detail right now in the sickle cell anemia, but just remember, due to the structural deterioration in the hemoglobin, the RBC gets damaged. That is the sickle cell anemia. As a result of which, reduction in the RBC, that leads to the anemia, lack of blood, lack of RBCs in the body. That's called sickle cell anemia. The problem arises due to the defect in the gene. Okay. The second, what is the second expression comes? It is the, because of this gene, okay, it leads to the increase in the resistance, okay, increase in resistance of a particular type of malaria, okay, caused by Plasmodium falciparum, okay, PA, Plasmodium falciparum, okay. So this gene, okay, well, let me just modify one information. There is no defect in the gene. This gene is responsible, okay. I'm just modifying myself, okay. There is no defect in the gene, but this gene itself, okay, normal gene, this gene itself, okay, causes sickle cell anemia, okay. This gene, okay, in presence of this gene increases in the resistance of the particular type of malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum, okay. This is another character that is controlled by the gene, okay. One more, this gene also leads to the development of many tissues and organs, okay, development of many tissues or organs, okay, like for example, development of bone, development of lungs, kidney, spleen and heart. So this gene controls over the development, okay, of the various tissues and organs like bones, lungs, kidneys, spleen and heart. It also controls over the increasing resistance against a particular malaria. Also, it leads to the sickle cell anemia. Okay. So, it has been found out in a research, in a study, that in Africa, in a particular area of Africa, okay, people who are suffering from sickle cell anemia, they are actually resistant, okay, from this particular malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum. They are not, okay, getting affected, getting attacked by this malaria that is caused by this particular Plasmodium. The resistance that grow in their body because of the presence of this gene, the people who suffer from sickle cell anemia. Understood? So one disadvantage with one advantage also. And also this gene helps in the development of this particular organs. Okay. So this is a good example of this pleiotropism. Okay. So apart from the example given in your book, one or two extra examples we have discussed, which will, I hope that will help you, to understand what is polygenic inheritance and what is pleiotropism. What are the differences in the expression of these two different types of inheritance. Okay, I hope it will help you to understand. In the next video, I am going to discuss about the sex determination topic. Okay, then we will discuss about the disorders of the chapter. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you.